Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the first vacuum of the month verdict video for 2025. This is the vacuum cleaner I've been using for most of January. I have to admit I have been cheating on this Hoover Evo occasionally. When another cleaner has come my way, I might have unboxed the cleaner this month and decided to give it a go around the house. And I might have grabbed a cordless machine on the odd occasion, but for the most part I have been using this Hoover Breeze Evo. I have saved all the dirt up. I'm not going to weigh it because obviously I've used other machines, but I can show you all the dirt it's picked up during the course of January. I'll also have a look at the filters. I'll give you my verdict on it, its convenience, its performance, and also a little niggle I've had with this machine, and I'm going to actually address that niggle. I've already found out that this cleaner is a liar. Hoover are lying with the specifications of this vacuum cleaner, as they've done when I did the Enigma Evo. That was rated at 350 watts. But when I happened to open it up during the video, I discovered that the motor had 250 watts printed on it. Now, I'm not going to open up this cleaner in the video, but I do have a wattage doodah. I don't know what this is called, but anyway, it's a little device you can plug in your appliance to, and it shows you the amount of electricity it's consuming. So this is rated. I mean, I was thinking when I was using it, it seems, you know, it's okay, but it seems very quiet, a little bit wimpy for, is it 850 watts, I think they're claiming? Let's have a look. Yes, the rating sticker on this Breeze Evo says 850 watts, which is 50 watts below the maximum allowable limit for a domestic vacuum cleaner sold in the EU and UK. But yeah, there was just something, my spidey sense was tingling, and I thought it doesn't feel like an 850 watt cleaner, and indeed it isn't. So stay tuned, because I'll be showing you exactly how many wattages or watts this consumes during the video. So I've finished using it, I've cleaned around the house, I've done the stairs. Now it does have an attached hose, but to be honest, I have used it a couple of times, the hose, 2 or 3 times, and have managed to clean mostly up the stairs with this. But using this nozzle, it's a dusting brush, but they're very stiff, so I was able to really sort of scrub at my stair carpeting with this. A lot of the time though, when I was whipping around the house, I just used it on the stairs as you'd use an upright cleaner, because it's quite light, and to make it even lighter, I used to keep that nozzle on. But to make it lighter, I didn't actually have the hose on board. It sometimes flaps about, it sometimes comes away from the hook at the bottom. So because I didn't use it often, I left it to one side and mainly used the machine as an upright, and it is very light, especially when you don't have the hose attached. So yeah, I've used the hose a bit, but as I said, it's easy enough because of the weight of it to actually hold it like this and vacuum the stairs. Normally from top to bottom I would do it. It's a little bit dusty. I haven't cleaned the filters during the month, and I haven't really cleaned anything. I mean, it's not too bad. I did give this, I have to admit, I wiped it once when I noticed a lot of dust around here, but there is dust still. You know, more dust has gathered around this part. So let's see what we've been picking up in the last few days. Right, lots of fibrous material. That's not bad, is it, really? And there's dust. Not bad, look at all that. And I've been using this cleaner as your average person would use it. I've not been doing a big mess test. I've just been cleaning my home, cleaning the carpets that look clean. You can only tell when my carpets need a good vacuuming because there's sort of surface litter, you know, bits and pieces that land on the carpet. There's dirt you can't see, obviously, but when it looks a bit grubby, I haven't vacuumed every single day. I do normally use a vacuum every day, but I've not used this particular one every single day. But as I said, I'd say 80% of the time I would go for this vacuum. It's okay on hard floors as well, to be honest. On one of the hard floor settings, there are two settings you could use for hard floors. So I've just whipped around my kitchen, my bathroom, the ensuite with it. It's been fine. I haven't been picking up huge bits. I don't know if it's snow ploughs because there's no large debris, but it's been picking up all the visible bits on the hard floor as well. So there is something trapped around the filter. Right, so that's the bin. You know, it's not bad. Before I put this away, for the time being, I will give this a rinse out and leave it to dry. So as you can see, some of the fibrous material has gathered around the mesh part of the filter. This stuff underneath, we can take that off and you can see there's dust. Yeah, just bits and pieces, getting it everywhere. And I don't know why if mine's missing, but in the previous versions of this cleaner that I've shown you on my channel, and I've shown about 3 different variants of this when I looked back. I've done one called the Hoover Smart quite a few years ago, but that was a high, I think that was 2,100 watts. And then I did a Vortex Evo, quite similar to this, and I've done the Blaze as well. All more or less the same cleaners, just, you know, the brush roll has changed, and of course the motors have changed to meet with the EU regulations. But before I put that away, I'll use another vacuum with a dusting brush. I'll clean round out, wet wipe, leave it to dry. So again, here's the filter. A few bits have trapped themselves around it. Now I need to take this off. I couldn't get this off when I first showed you this, but it does come off. Hang on, let's put it down there. There we are. So the mesh portion of the filter prevents some dirt from sticking to the pleated part, mainly the fibrous dirt. It's quite a messy job to clean this. Alright, it's coming. Again, I'm going to rinse that under running water. I might use a little bit of dishwashing soap, rinse it thoroughly. So that's the mesh, easy enough to clean. Here's the pleated filter. Now, as I said, I've used this vacuum normally as a regular vacuumer or consumer would use it. I've not given it loads of dirt to pick up in one go. But I don't know if the camera's picking up that there is. Can you see? I can see the dust coming out. Look at that. Oh, look at that now. Can you see it? Oh, it's all in the air, folks. I should really do this outside. Yeah, it's clearly held on to a lot of fine dust. Now, in most cases, you don't have to keep washing this filter. Excuse me. Can you see all this? All this fine dust. So it does pick the dust up, but it's, yeah. What you'd normally do with this, if you don't want to keep washing it, and I wouldn't advise washing it every time, go to your outside bin once a month and just tap it on the inside of your outside bin. Just gently tap it and it's more's coming off, look. Because I'm doing this to show you, I'm having to suffer breathing in all the fine dust. I don't recommend you do it, especially if you have a dust allergy. In fact, if you have a dust allergy, look at a bagged vacuum, to be honest. But anyway, a lot of that will come off. Oh dear. I can vacuum that off because obviously I have some other vacuum cleaners, a cylinder vacuum with a brush. I could clean that even better without having to wet it. So yeah, it is cleanable, you know, tappable on the side of your bin. So what I'm going to do actually, folks, because Henry is to hand, I'm going to grab my Henry, suck up the mess I've made with him, try and clean off this filter, and then we'll measure the suction power. I don't think I did it when I unboxed this vacuum cleaner, so we'll measure the sealed suction, and then we'll measure how many watts it actually consumes as opposed to the 850 watts Hoover state it consumes. There we go, thanks to Henry. I mean, that's pretty clean now. They do come clean, these filters, so it's not always necessary to wash them, but just make sure you've got another vacuum cleaner on hand. Most people don't, obviously, so you do have to rely on tapping it out on the side of your bin and washing it from time to time to maintain the suction power of this Hoover Breeze Evo. So we can now pop the mesh screen back over the pleated filter. Make sure it goes on properly. There we go. That's almost as good as new now, isn't it? And then we need to pop this onto the handle, and then that goes in the dirt bin. Lock it in place. Good as new almost. So that goes on there. What I forgot to show you before I sucked up the dirt from the bin, this is all the other dirt that I've managed to pick up during the course of my cleaning in January 2025. I'll have Henry on guard, ready to suck this up as well. I'm using my Henry Clean Air because it has the best filter. Henry Clean Air and Henry Allergy have the best filtration of the domestic Henrys. So if air quality is important to you, look for the Henry Clean Air or the blue Henry Allergy. So here's the dust. There's hairs, there's fibrous material, there's sort of cardboard packaging. That was sort of shredded bits of cardboard that was inside a box that I had delivered, and some of it spilt out. Most of it went in the bin. So yeah, some polystyrene. That must have been from a vacuum, possibly. Polystyrene that came off the packaging. There's dust as well. Can you see the dust? That's quite a lot, considering, you know, I haven't just used this vacuum, and you know, I do tend to vacuum a lot. Not bad for a budget priced vacuum. And then here, look. Oh, what's that? Ah, I think that's a part of a Christmas decoration. Remnants from when I took down my tree. And yeah, this is very fine dust that's getting into the air, so I think I'll be better to clean all this up now. Whenever I use a bagless vacuum cleaner, I tend to use a Henry to suck all the dirt out of the bin and clean the filters, and then I save the dirt from Henry's bag and use it in future demonstrations. So I think it'll be time for a bag change very soon with Henry Clean Air. And Henry Clean Air is one of the cleaners that has been considered for Vacuum of the Month. I've got the 4 cleaners behind me that were on the poll, and I'll be revealing which cleaners came 4th, 3rd, 2nd and 1st. So stay tuned for that one. But in the meantime, Henry, that's all for now. Thank you very much. Let's have another look at this Evo. Did I turn it off? Yes, I have unplugged. We'll have a look at the underside. It's still quite clean after a month of use. There's not much wrapped around it. There's nobody in this house with long hair and no long-haired dogs. So that's remained fairly clear. Now, yeah, it's quite sticky. So I will need to get a wet wipe. This will happen with an upright, it will happen with the cylinder cleaners, the base plates of a cylinder nozzle and the base plates of an upright. No matter how clean you think your carpets are, they will pick up grime as you're using a vacuum over them, and it'll make it even harder to push. So yeah, I've just noticed that that's tacky, so it does need a good wipe. And if you're finding your cleaner's a bit harder to push than it was when it was new, one of the things I would check is the base plate. Just make sure you give it a bit of a clean to stop this build up, because yeah, it does build up no matter how clean your carpets look. I did take the other strip off the back of this. There were two flexible strips. One was fitted at the factory at the back, if you check back on the unboxing video, and one you could fit as an option. So I took the front one off. It was very hard to push on this carpet. So I took the front one off, and then after a while I also took the back one off, because I didn't like, it's hard to describe, but you can feel the little rubber strip moving back and forth as you're cleaning, and it sort of makes it a bit harder to push. So I took them off. This is really good on my other carpets, or my very short pile carpets I have throughout the rest of the house, or my stairs, in the bedrooms, etc. It's great, and it'll even work on the lowest setting. It's just this plush pile Saxony that it's hard to push, but if I do it in a different direction, it's a bit easier. But it still picked up the dirt. It was, yeah, it's okay. I have to use it on the highest or the next to the highest setting, but upstairs I can use it on the lowest setting, and also for hard floors I tended to use it on the lowest setting as well. Right, while we're in this vicinity, we'll have a quick look at the rating sticker. As you can see, the rating sticker on this cleaner states it uses 850 watts of power. So let's see how accurate that measurement is. With the filter clean, I'm going to measure the sealed suction power of this Hoover Breeze Evo, and I'm going to measure it as near as we can to the cleaner head. So using this short hose here rather than attach the long hose, this will give us a rough idea of the sort of suction we can expect at the cleaner head. The suction gauge peaked at around 44. That would have been higher had the suction relief valve not cut in. And the suction relief valve on this cleaner is here, just above the lower cord hook. It's a little sprung loaded valve that opens up when airflow is restricted. That will open, allowing air to flow through to the motor to prevent it overheating. Let's see if we can just detect that moving. When I block the end of the hose, that should move, allowing air into the system. I'm going to measure the sealed suction again, but this time I'm going to keep my thumb over the suction relief valve and see if we can get a better measurement on the suction gauge. With my thumb covering the suction relief valve, we got almost 54 on the suction gauge. So what are my pros and cons for this Hoover Breeze Evo after using it for almost a month? Pro, it's pretty lightweight, especially so if you take the hose off. It's also relatively quiet as well, and pretty easy to push on most carpets and floors, just not on plush pile Saxony, so possibly give it a miss if your carpets are all plush pile. If your carpets are short pile, or you've got mainly hard floors or rugs, and you're on a budget, it's one to consider. Quite a large capacity. I didn't have to empty it every time, and after nearly a month of use, yes, the filter was dirty, but it is relatively easy to clean. You don't have to keep washing it every month. I'm not sure if Hoover recommend washing it every month. Let's have a look. Yeah, it doesn't really say. It just tells you how to empty it. So if you don't have the instructions, it shows you here about filter maintenance. But it does say to remove the mesh and tap the pleated part on the side of a bin to remove excess dust. But I think a monthly job is fine for most homes. And maybe wash it every 3 months. Or if you have another vacuum like I've got, use your other vacuum to suck the dirt off, preferably a bagged one, because then if you're using a bagless cleaner to clean a bagless cleaner, you're still mucking up the filter on a bagless. So if you've got a Henry lying around doing nothing, use him to clean the filter. But if you don't have another vacuum and you're on a budget, it's not too bad. there was dust, fine dust stuck to this after a month of use, but it's still picking up. You know, I've just used it before I started filming this video, and it's picking everything up that I could see, but possibly not the deepest cleaner. But if you're on a budget, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Now, at the time of filming this, from Amazon, it's £89. But if you want the pet version, that's exactly the same as this, but it comes with a mini turbo nozzle. That's on offer at £79. So for £10 less, you can get the Breeze Evo Pets. I'll put a link below if you want to check that out, if you're considering this. I didn't buy this myself. This was kindly gifted to me by Joseph, one of my viewers, for my Amazon wish list, and I opened this on my Christmas Day 2024 unboxing video. I don't have an Amazon wish list anymore. That was just for a brief period for some people who wanted to take the opportunity to buy me something to open, but it's not there all the time. I don't often do that. So if you're thinking of buying something for my list, thank you, but you won't find it at the moment. So it's not bad. It's not bad at all. For the price, it's not bad. There are far better vacuum cleaners out there, but you are paying a lot more money for them. I am filming this video the day before the 1st of February, but I've got plans at the weekend, so I might not have time to film this video, so I thought I would get it done today. The poll results aren't going to alter. The actual percentage of which cleaners you voted for might change, but I don't think the overall winner is going to change, so I can announce the results today in this video. In 4th place, I have to say I'm very disappointed at all you for not wanting me to use this, but it's the Simplicity cordless cleaner. Let's give it a quick go. You know, it's not bad. Even on boost, it was still, the head was still rotating, the brush was still rotating on my plush pile. It was harder to push, but you know, it's not a bad cleaner for the money. I will be doing another video on this, a proper video, even if I don't get to use it for a month, I will be giving you an update. So this came last, I'm afraid. So no, it's another time for you, Simplicity cordless. The cleaner that came second to last, in 3rd place, and you've only recently seen this on my channel. I didn't really do a demo with it, so I can possibly understand why you didn't want me to use it for vacuum of the month. It's the Miele C3 Active. So no, you didn't want me to use that, so that goes. Sorry, Miele. To be honest, I was rather hoping that you'd pick the Electrolux Contour Chic, because I do want to do some vintage machines, and if you don't give me the opportunity, I might have to choose one month, because you might not vote. I had a feeling, you know, we know who's won. I should have known. Putting a Henry in a poll, Henry would have won. But, you know, the Contour came second, did pretty well actually. So, but nowhere near as many votes as Henry Clean Air. So you're the one, Henry, I'll be using for February. And I'm quite pleased about it, but I would have liked to have used this. Now, I have shown this cleaner, I unboxed it, and I also did, I don't know how many years ago, I've had this ages, and I got it a new in the box one, but I did, it was a Christmas video, because I think my tree was up. I did a versus video, I'll link it if I can find it. I did this against an Orec and the Panasonic Icon. There was 3 cleaners set up with loads of dirt. So I used this, so that's the only time it's really been used. It was a bit dirty inside. Well, I took the bag out, so I have fitted a new bag, but this is non-genuine, but it's a fleece bag, which is better than the paper one. And because it's been in storage for so long, the belt had got a bit slack, so I fitted a new belt. I haven't switched this on for quite some years, so this could blow up. We'll give it a go. And I've never tried it on the plush pile carpet. That's how long I've had it. Right, here we go. Oh, but at least it didn't blow. I thought I turned it off. Let's see how it performs. I've got it on the deep pile setting. We've got various settings on this cleaner. There's a floor selector Can we see with the reflection of the light? Probably not, but anyway, there is. So we'll start it off on the highest setting, give it a go. Well, it's not really doing much. I couldn't feel it grooming, so possibly we'll try it on normal. A little bit lower. Alright, let's give this a go. Oh, that's better. Not bad. Let's have a feel of the suction. Not the greatest. Might as well get the gauge out. I didn't have the gauge when I first showed you this machine. Well, that's not bad at all. The Electrolux Contour measured 60 on the sealed suction gauge, but it has a 1000 watt motor. Speaking of 1000 watt motors, we'll just see how accurate this gauge is. We'll see if it does actually consume 1000 watts or more, or possibly less. This Electrolux Contour averaged around 904 watts, which is less than the 1000 watts maximum stated, although to be fair, the rating sticker also states 900 watts nom, so that's fair enough, it's within those parameters. When you block off the suction, when I block the hose off, so there's no airflow going to the motor, the wattage reduces even further. And that was shown in that brilliant program, The Secret Life of the Vacuum Cleaner, with Tim Hunkin. He did that experiment and showed that when there's no air running through a vacuum clean motor, they use less electricity. But of course, that's not ideal. You want air to be flowing through the vacuum, because if you don't have constant airflow, that's how you get motors to overheat. Normally, modern machines especially have a cutout valve, and they will switch off if they get too hot. So Henry, congratulations, you are the winner. I will be using you for the month of February. He's very heavy because he needs his belly emptied, don't you, Henry? As I said, he gets used for cleaning out any bagless machine I use. So I think before I use him, I'm going to put a nice fresh dust bag inside. Yeah, that's pretty full. Let's pull off the old bag. There we are. Close the cover. Yeah, that's a heavy dust bag full of dirt. So we'll just take a new one, printed side up, push it in place, and normally wipe it out, but I'll do that later. There we are. So he's got a nice fresh dust bag in him. Make sure that the filter is also in place. And his motor unit, incorporating of course the special filter, because he is the clean air version. I'll just give you a quick look at that in case you've not seen. Whoops, I didn't know you were going to fall out. Don't fall out with me, Henry. So that's what makes the Henry Clean Air the clean air, because of this HEPA filter. This is the same filter you'll get in Henry Allergy as well. So this is the exhaust filter. Of course, the bag is the first filter, then you've got the pre-motor filter, and then this round HEPA exhaust. I think it's a HEPA 13. So we need to pop this back, try and line it up. There's a certain knack. Hang on, I need to pull his ears out. There we go. Turn it to the locked position. And there we go. Make sure that's on. Are you on properly, Henry? Yes, you are. So there he is. I'll be using you for the whole month. Now, because he is the clean air version, he does have some extra accessories you don't get with standard Henry. So, as I showed you earlier in the video, we get the small aero brush. We also get the large aero brush, the 3 small tools that you always expect with a Henry, and of course the standard carpet and hard floor nozzle. I might cheat a little bit. I will use him for the whole month, but I might cheat by using some additional tools. All genuine Henry tools. I do have the extension hose to clean the stairs. I have an extension wand, a telescopic wand as well, and I also have a new type of dusting brush that you can angle to different positions. That comes in the Reach kit, I think it was. So I might also use the Reach kit. So I've got lots of tools to use with Henry. I know he's going to be great around my house. I could do with having a real good go at my nooks and crannies. Bit of a spring clean, bit of an early spring clean with Henry Clean Air. I'm going to do all around the edges, vacuum out drawers. I'm going to clean my curtains, going to do all my upholstery, my wardrobe, all the nooks and crannies, all the dusting jobs, all the above floor jobs. I'm going to have a right good go at them using the Henry Clean Air. And because it's the Clean Air version, I know that the air that comes out of Henry's backside is going to be nice and clean. I might pop an air freshener just over his filter, actually, because he might start to smell a little bit after a couple of weeks. You do tend to pong a bit, Henry, especially in homes that have dogs and cats. So there you go, a bit of a long one, I think, today, but I hope you've enjoyed the first verdict for Vacuum of the Month 2025. Tune in on the 1st of March when I'll be giving you my verdict on the Henry Clean Air, and there'll also be 4 other vacuum cleaners that will be up on a poll, so you can check that on my community tab. About a week before the end of February, I'll put a new poll up. There may be vacuums you've seen before, it might be all new vacuums, but you know, it's up to you for the time being at least to choose which vacuum you're going to make me use for a whole month. But it's something I've brought back for this month, this year. I haven't done it for a while, but it's been quite popular in the past, and a lot of you were quite pleased that I brought back Vacuum of the Month. So that's what I've done. Stay tuned, more vacuums coming up. Speaking of the Electrolux, which we were earlier, I do hope to do a bit more of an in-depth video on that and a demo. And also cleaners that I featured years and years ago that I still own. I'll be bringing those back as well, hopefully during the course of this year. So a lot of blasts from the past will be turning up. Cleaners that I might not have been able to demonstrate properly because there might have been something wrong with them. Vintage machines, or slightly less vintage. But you're going to be seeing some old friends back again, filmed in 4K high-def video. So even some videos I've had from years and years ago, I still have the cleaners. So it'd be nice to give you updates on those machines in full 4K glorious Technicolor. I think I need something to eat. And my dogs need feeding at this stage. So I'm actually going. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more vacuum cleaner fun, reviews, news, and whatever. I do like vacuum cleaners. I hope you do too. Bye for now.